Hi guys! Oh my gosh, okay, so hello! I decided to start up a YouTube series with you guys. I just got done doing a series on my Instagram called How Do You Deal With like blank abroad? And it went so well. You guys just completely opened up, had so many questions, had so many things about travel that I feel like people just aren't talking about anymore. Like everybody thinks that travel is this easy, beautiful thing where you can just walk around in heels and a red dress on top of a mountain, which, you know, no hate to those people that do that because those make for beautiful pictures. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like travel has really become this thing where we're traveling to get a picture instead of traveling for the experience, to getting to dive into local culture, local food, local customs, learning about ourselves, learning about the world. It's a lot deeper than just an Instagram caption, and I really wanted to just talk about that more because for me, travel is something that completely changed who I was, completely changed my life trajectory, and I want people to experience it. And I know that so many of us get caught up in our fears or our worries or intimidated by travel. But I promise that if I can do it, you can do it. Oh my god, I feel like I just did like a telemarketer, like, if I can do it, you can do it, buy our product today. No, okay, but seriously, like, I moved to Europe solo in 2016. Was that already 2 years ago? But I moved solo because after college, I just knew that I really wanted to live in Europe, and if I didn't do it then, I knew I would regret it, and I'm so happy I did because it completely changed everything about like my life, who I am, what I'm doing now, and so grateful that I did that. But I know that traveling solo can be super intimidating and not something that everybody thinks that they can do. So today for our first topic, I want to talk about meeting people while traveling solo. So a lot of people don't want to travel solo because they just don't think that they can meet other people. They're super intimidated, they get in their head, and I completely understand. I was totally that person once where if I saw a group of people, like, I was like, nope, I'm good, I'm just gonna stay here in my corner and like not talk to anybody. And I ended up just kind of like self-sabotaging because if I had just gotten out of my head, then I would have been able to have better experiences, meet more people, get a more like diving in experience of travel than I did later on. So for today, I just want to talk about how traveling solo and meeting people can be super intimidating. And to start out, I just want to say we are all so similar, more similar than most people think. If you are traveling solo, I promise you there are other people traveling solo out there that are thinking all of the same things that you're thinking. Like, what if they like look at me funny? What if I say something? Like, is everybody looking at me right now because I'm by myself? So for today, I just want to talk about how like what I do when I'm traveling solo and wanting to meet somebody. My number one tip to you guys is beer. There's nothing that makes people join together quicker than sharing a beer. Whether it's a beer at your hostel, because a lot of the hostels have bars, or it's a brewery, or you go out to a bar. If you see a group of like 2, 3, 4 people and they're hanging out, grab a beer and just go up to them and be like, hey, like, I'm traveling solo, like, do you mind if I join you? And I promise you, more times than not, they're gonna say yeah, because the people that are traveling, that are out there, most people, like 99% of people, are so nice and kind and also are wanting to get to meet other people while traveling, and they're probably also like, I don't know how to go about it. So it kind of becomes this game of like, alright, we're both thinking these things, but who am I going to talk to first? And I promise you that more times than not, it's going to go really well. Obviously, like, I've had times where I've done that. I've gone up to a couple or a little group of people and had gotten a beer with them, and we didn't really click. And so yeah, like, I spent a conversation, got to hear about where they're at, where they're going, their experiences, and then after the beer, we kind of just parted ways. And, you know, that's totally fine. You're not gonna click with everybody. Not everybody's meant for you. But once you start doing that more, of just stepping outside your comfort zone, talking to people, it's gonna become so much easier, and you're more likely to meet people that you're gonna click with. More likely to have awesome travel friendships that you didn't have before. The second thing kind of goes along with the first, but if you see somebody else by themselves at a bar, at a brewery, at a restaurant, you know, sometimes people are just wanting to be by themselves. And like, sometimes you can kind of pick up on that vibe, like they don't want to be bothered. But a lot of times, if you're solo and they're solo, just go up to them and be like, hey, like, are you traveling solo too? Like, do you mind if I sit here? Like, do you mind if we share a beer? Sometimes, literally the worst thing they can say is, actually, I'm okay, thank you, or no, like, I'm meeting somebody, or no, like, thank you though. And then that's fine. And yeah, maybe you like leave the bar and you're super embarrassed and you have to go somebody else, which I have done. But like, you still got out there and you asked, and that is gonna get you places. I promise you. And more times than not, that person is gonna be so grateful that you came up and talked to them, because they're scared, they're intimidated, they're like, I don't want to do this. Both of you are thinking the exact same thing. It's just like, who's gonna say something first? So yeah, it's really comforting, at least for me, to realize that we're so similar, and as humans, like, we all go through the same fears, all the same intimidations, all the same thoughts. And if you think of it like that, it makes approaching people a little easier and a little less intimidating. My last little tip for meeting people is take pictures of people. Okay, so whenever I go abroad, I don't ever bring a tripod. It's just bulky, I don't really want to carry it. I'm usually just resorting to selfies, or I'll like ask somebody, I'll set up the shot and be like, take this exact shot. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't, but that's usually how I'm getting my pictures abroad. And I cannot tell you how grateful and amazing it is when somebody else who's traveling solo comes up, or who's just traveling in general, they don't have to be by themselves. They come up and be like, hey, like, do you want me to take your picture? And I'm like, oh, yes! And like, it's the best feeling ever. And so, especially if you see somebody solo and you're solo, like they're struggling to take a picture, a selfie, go up and be like, hey, like, do you want me to take your picture for you? Like, I'll gladly do that, and like maybe you can take a picture of me. And then quickly, you're gonna pick up on their vibes. You're gonna pick up on their vibes of like, oh, like maybe we could be friends, or they seem nice, like I wonder what they're up to. It's a really easy way to like meet somebody with no pressure, because if you like them, you take a picture of them and then you get to start talking. If you don't like them, then you take the picture and you keep going. But it's a really great way to just like get your foot in the door. And I've met a lot of people by doing that and was so grateful for them, because I ended up getting an awesome shot that I wouldn't have gotten if I had just taken it myself or asked some random stranger. And then you just kind of strike up a conversation like, oh, like, where are you from? Where are you headed next? Like, what have you been doing? And if you guys click, that's awesome, because then you have a friend and you can explore the rest of the day together, or meet up later for dinner or something, so you at least have like a contact in the place that you're at. And so yeah, those are like my 3 major things that I can pass on to you guys that hopefully make it seem a little less intimidating to travel solo. Obviously, there are a bunch of different things you can talk about with traveling solo, like what countries are good to travel solo, eating by yourself, staying in a hostel, doing activities by yourself. There's a bunch of things that I will dive into on other episodes, but I want to keep these episodes kind of like short and sweet. And so that's going to be it for today. I'm so excited to be doing this with you all. If you guys have any questions about anything, like what backpack I use, budget travel, where you should go, all these things, put them in the comments. Feel free to drop a comment asking me whatever. I will get to it in later videos, and I'm so excited to be sharing this with you guys. This has been the hardest video to film ever, because I swear luck was not on my side today. Every few minutes there was somebody mowing down the street, airplanes overhead, cars passing, and this street is usually so quiet. Like, I swear today I just picked the worst day ever to video. But we got through it. Alrighty, be sure to subscribe if you want to keep hearing about my travels and videos and tips and stuff that I've been through, so that you can get out there too. Once again with a promo video. But alright guys, see you later, stay dope.